world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling you need some kind of change. Standing tall on the wings of my dream, rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Rain and thunder, wind and haze, bound for better days. It's my life and my dream, nothing's gonna stop me now.
All right, welcome to TGIF. Tanner Grover invites friends. It is day number 15,542 of being me. And every now and again, I get a little bit confused. So, what better person to have on today than someone that could really, bring some clarity to life than an Emmy Murrow award winning journalist who spent 39 years at the helm of the WJME desk. That's a Maine record that will never be broken. She's a lover of musical theater. She's a collector of elephant collectibles. She is the fashionista of flawless 80s hairstyles. It is the one, the only, the iconic Kim Block. What's up, Kim?
Hey, Tanner. Oh, that was great. I can't believe you remembered my elephant. But more than that, that intro has left me wanting to cry. That was so cool. And I can't believe I made the montage. That's so awesome. I have so many great memories with you, and it is a joy to be sitting with you right now to have a little conversation and catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this really is a show about friendship, Kim, and you are arguably my first friend. And the way I like to start off every episode is I like to establish the DOF, which stands for Date of Friendship. So
Okay.
I'm wondering if you have an idea of when that was, and even if you might be able to expand on what were your first impressions of me as a young one.
Oh boy, I will never forget meeting you, Tanner. And I don't know the exact date, but you were only about 2 years old. So we're talking, what, 39 years ago or something?
Yeah, probably
Close to that?
85.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, around that. And it was at the Muscular Dystrophy Association Telethon, which, you know, your parents, Trish and Merritt, had agreed to bring you down to be a guest as somebody who could kind of give a face and a voice, although I wasn't expecting such a voice, to someone living with SMA. And boy, I'll tell you, you just looked up at me, and I guess you know, you were always so verbal, so way ahead of your time. And most children I interviewed at that age, you couldn't have really great conversations with, but that was okay. But, you know, you looked right up at me and you said, Kim Block, I've never been on TV before and I'm a little nervous. And my mouth just dropped. I'm like, you're nervous, okay? Because now I'm really nervous because you are really smart. And I loved how you called me Kim Block. You did that for years because your mom said you would hear me on the news saying, good evening, I'm Kim Block, and think it was kind of one word. You know, I'm sorry about that phone. That phone never rings. And
No
it's,
problem.
but anyway, so that's the first time I met you. And then we went on to do the interview, and you were just really articulate about talking about, you know, your life and then mostly your hobbies. And I just got to know you as a person, and I just fell in love. I'm not kidding, Tanner. I had a big crush, big time crush from the beginning. And I just really, really wanted to stay connected with you and your family. And we were able to do that for many, many, many years. And so I would say date of friendship, 1985, and all the way on to the future.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome. And it's I know you were like a huge part of my youth and growing up and kind of like I don't know. My early memories is like going down to the telethon, and I remember it was like you had catering, but it was like Dunkin' Donuts, and it was like the first
Fancy, huh?
time. Yeah, right. The first time I'd ever had Dunkin' Donuts, I'm like, wow, like I'm in Portland, like in the city, and they have Dunkin' Donuts. You know, and that was like
Yeah, we
a
really
really
went
huge.
all out, didn't we?
Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah, I was like, whoa. But
I could see how the donuts, though, might be a little incentive there to get you to come back.
oh, for a 3 or 4 year old kid, yeah, for sure. Um,
Exactly.
but it's funny. Looking back now, like as a 42-year-old, the opportunities that being like the poster child of Maine like offered to me, and it was like it was cool to be in that like kind of whatever spotlight. But I have always memories. They're always like photographic. I've got like photographic evidence of I wouldn't have been able to attend like a Boston Celtics practice in 1992 if not for that opportunity and meet, Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish and people like that, which were like, I think at the time, like maybe I just thought like, oh, anyone can do this, you know,
Mhm.
but like it really was a very unique, like special thing. And I credit, my relationship with you and everyone involved with the telethon, which it's not even really a thing anymore, is it?
No,
Anymore,
sad, sad. I mean,
yeah.
the organization exists, thank goodness,
Mhm.
um, for to help people with all these neuromuscular diseases, but yeah, there's not that once a year just really visible, lively weekend to, just connect people, um, with this cause, and, I miss that, I really do. I guess telethons have just they're just not as common anymore, and there are lots of other ways to raise money, but I think what you miss with that is you really don't get to know the people in your community who, who know all about this firsthand, and you were such an incredible ambassador, Tanner, for MDA. We were so lucky to have you. Just, because as I said before, you were so articulate, but you were also so funny and entertaining and warm and such a joy to be around. And it felt like no, and I can't speak for you, but those moments that you talk about, the opportunities you had, I mean, we would have done anything for you, and just to give you those moments of joy where, you can just be a regular guy, but a regular guy who gets to meet some of his heroes and, um, it was really a two-way street. We were so lucky to have you, and I'm delighted of any good memories you have because you gave a lot to us just to, have your presence there and help people understand why it matters that we find cures and treatments for all of these diseases.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'm doing now that I wanted to share with you, is it's weird. So it was like a big part of my youth, right, was going to the MDA telethons and um, whatnot, being an ambassador. And then I kind of fell out of that as I got into, probably grades like 3, 4, all the way up through high school and into college. And, you go and you just kind of integrate. And my parents were so good about mainstreaming me with my friends. And because of my social nature, I've never had trouble making friends. I've
Mhm.
always just kind of done whatever. And my classmates were so accepting of me. And I do kind of think about sometimes like how for other people that might not have been the case. They might have felt, isolated or, whatever. But I had a really good experience all throughout my high school and college years and even now. But recently, um, there have been some like medical advances with treatments for SMA specifically and other forms of muscular dystrophy. And I linked up with this advisory board at a hospital in New York that I'm a part of, where we now put on webinars for other folks who have SMA who want to learn more about, different treatments they can do, or even like, social aspects like um, integrating within their school system or how to find employment. But I'm part of this board of people, and we meet. It's all virtual. They're all in New York. I'm in Maine.
Mhm.
But it's cool, and I'm like kind of interacting with other people around my age who have the disease, which I've never done before because there's just not people around Maine that are like me. I mean, there are some, but we're kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's a little daunting and like, overwhelming at times, but it's been an
Wow.
overall pretty positive experience.
I am so proud of you, Tanner. That is fantastic. And what a perfect person for them to have included in this. I mean, just from the simple, if I could relate a little bit, just from having had a traumatic brain injury after falling on the ice, just having a community of people um, who understand, what that's like, because again, it's not a visible um, disability, and it's really hard to explain, but but then trying also, which I've been trying to do through speeches and things, just continue to raise awareness and kind of be on the front lines instead of feeling so much like just a patient or just a person living with this. And I can't imagine what you bring to this, and also how exciting to hear about any new treatments or, cutting edge developments. That just warms my heart. I think that's so cool. And isn't it wonderful? We can do these things remotely, so you can be in Maine but you can still develop this community. A lot of the work I do is remote as well. And it's incredible. So, wow, that's just great. That's just great. And what is it like to talk to, other people are there people your age as well with SMA?
There are, yeah. So I mean, it's a group of there's like 5 or 6 of us consistently that attend pretty much everything, and we even have like a little group chat that we'll chime in on once in a while, where people will give updates of about what they're doing. But yeah, they're all pretty much in their like 30s and early to mid 40s. So we're close in age. We have some life experience. And kind of like I was saying earlier, how, I guess I would dare say, a charmed childhood. I don't think that's been every one of these people's experiences. And so just to kind of even within the group outside of the webinars where we're talking to, either younger people with SMA, or a lot of times it's like parents of people with SMA because they have a kid and they want answers and insights or whatever.
Sure.
Um, but even just talking to people within the panel themselves, I think it's just been helpful to like lend support and share share experiences and make people, feel like they're a part of a community.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about that charmed life, and that has so much to do with your family. It has a lot to do with you, because who's more charming than Tanner Grover? Um, it's no wonder you have wonderful friends. All of us are lucky to have you as a friend, but also your community. Your community has been really great. And I bet, if a lot of people don't grow up in a place like that where, you know a lot of people around you and people know your story. I imagine it can be a lot tougher to feel like an outcast and, not a part of something. So, but it's really a combination of so many things that have led to that. And it's also your willingness, to put yourself out there, because I mean, that takes a lot. And, the charmed life part, I mean, I don't I just wanted to mention this because it hasn't been all rosy for you. And I remember, a lot of times over those years, even after the telethon, visiting you in the hospital and, thinking we were going to lose you. And you just never gave up, Tanner. This incredible strength you have and this commitment to, put yourself through some really hard decisions and things that hopefully can, help prolong life for you and make it better. It's just you are one of a kind, and anybody who could kind of benefit from seeing that you just don't give up, that's you. That's something that not everybody is able to do. So I'm glad you're spreading that around. And the only part about the hospital I liked was being able to bring you your little wrestling toys that you loved so much at that time. You loved those figurines. Do you remember
Oh,
any of
I
them?
haven't, and I still have them, Kim. I have an extensive collection, all due to you, um, which I thank you for immensely.
Oh,
Because
well,
they brought me hours of joy for sure.
oh,
Um,
awesome. It was just so hard to think of what can I bring in here that so I'd consult with Trish and be like, does he have this? Does he have that? But
hold
anyway,
on. Hold on. Speaking of like collections, we got to talk about your fascination with elephants. I want to know. I want to know about this. I want to. This is what the people want to hear.
the people want
Um,
to know
yeah, yeah.
what
Can
about
you
them.
elaborate on your love for elephants?
Now,
Help
I
me
will
out here.
say it has nothing to do with any political affiliation, so let's just get that out straight.
Okay.
Um, but I also, through an illness, is how I found my love of elephants. I was very sick my first summer home from college with mono, which was common with a lot of people, but I had a really pretty bad case of it. And I was immobile for, a few months. And so I watched TV and I saw this National Geographic documentary on elephants. And it just showed their incredible matriarchal society, which really fascinated me. The women are really the ones who run the show in that breed, that species, and they showed the little baby ones and how they do not know how to handle their trunks when they're born, and they're just, this thing is flailing around and they're trying to eat and they're tripping over it. And I was in hysterics and I just became fascinated. So I asked my mom to go out and, buy me some books on elephants. And I watched a bunch of other shows that I could find. And my mom, when I finally was able to go back to school, gave me an elephant necklace. And that's kind of how it started. I would just kind of talk about them and people would see that I, would see a little elephant and get it. And the next thing I knew, like every birthday, every Christmas, or somebody would see an elephant and they would think of me. And that was the unexpected joy of it. It was kind of this connection that prompted someone to say, "Oh, Kim Block loves elephants. Let me grab that for her." So as a result, the collection just started growing. And when I married Bob, I had my own condo and I had them all over the place. Well, we sort of compromised that they're more like they're in a case and they're not quite as visible, but if you look around, you still will notice there's an elephant presence in just about everything in my house, in my clothes, and my jewelry. They're just
Okay, good.
really amazing.
I would
Mhm.
feel worried if there weren't. Like to me, that's a non-compromisable element
Well,
of
I
human life.
told him when we got married, the elephants came too. So, yes, I mean, absolutely. Nothing has stopped. Just a little, so it's not just totally my elephant home. You know, we shared. But yeah, I do. I still love them. And of course, I've been collecting them so long. Now I look for little unique ones but people always find the most amazing things. And I just think they still bring me such joy. I just love being reminded of who they are in this world, and just they're amazing. Not that they're they're dangerous. We've talked about trying to do a safari sometime, which would be my dream. The travel is a little frightening to me, but you don't want to get in their way. Let's put it that way. But man, it would be a dream come true to see them in their wild life,
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What do so like your kids, Miles and Molly, what do they make of your elephant obsession? Did they share in it, or do they have their own kind of thing that they're into?
Let's see. They don't, nobody does the collectible of anything. They definitely have their own interests, but I have gotten many elephants from my children over the years and just cards. And so they get it. I mean, they kind of look for special things too, just because, there's some repeats out there. I don't mind. I like them all. But yeah, no, they've known for a long time that elephants connect to mom. But when they were young, my son loved rockhopper penguins. That was his thing. So he had a bunch of those. And oh, my light just went off. And Molly, oh, lots of things. She went through a lot of phases with things. So, we were always whatever the phase of the childhood year was,
Yeah, yeah.
with them.
Well, I know that you're also
They
you're
say
really
hi,
in,
by the way. They say hi. I
yeah.
told them I was doing this, so they say hi.
I say hi back. I really only had the pleasure to interact with them just for a moment at my birthday party that you came to
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Well,
Which thank you so much for
oh,
attending.
I was so excited to be invited and to be there. And, my kids had seen pictures of you and heard about you for years. But I mean, but perhaps you guys met, during the telethons or things, but, not as adults. And that was really cool. My daughter was just talking about that party with her boyfriend, saying, man, he had the best band. And it was in this really cool opera house. And so anyway, they had a great time. So
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
yes.
shout out to Hello Newman. That was the band. So
That was the
that,
band, yeah.
yeah, yeah, they're
I
great.
remember,
They play
yeah.
around the Portland area a lot, actually.
Okay,
Um,
I watched from
they're
they were fun to dance to and just listen to.
yeah, they're a lot of fun. No, I think I met Miles as a baby,
Yes,
or
you guys
really
came to
young.
visit.
Yes.
Oh, what do you
Yeah.
remember about that visit? I know what I remember.
I don't know what I remember. I don't
What I
know.
remember is that I had a colicky baby, and I was talking to your mom. We were friends. We are friends, and she wanted to come visit, and I said, "I just have to tell you, I can't get this baby to stop crying." And you all showed up, and it was the first time I felt like I could really cry and let loose and not try to be brave, because that's just the way your mom is. And that I felt so close to all of you. And she said when you guys left, because I just remember he just cried the whole time. I tried with his rocker, I tried everything. She just gave me a big hug and said, "I feel so sorry for you, because it will get so much better than this," And it did finally, but I had to learn a lot of tricks, and I wound up there's a story I did on the News Tanner that is probably one of the most remembered story I've done. And Miles is 31 now, so think about how long ago this was. But when I got back from my maternity leave, I did this series on colic, and I called it Miles to Go Before I Sleep. And and in it, I had discovered this cassette. It was the decade of cassettes that this woman made. It was called the Baby Soother, and it simulated the sounds of the womb. It was mostly white noise, but it was like what we would call white noise today, but we weren't doing white noise then. And I would put that
Yeah.
in the machine and he would just stop. Like it was unbelievable. Like, I mean, it was so weird. And he also responded a lot to motion, and he just didn't like, I tried everything naturopathic, to help his tummy if that was it or what, but we, car rides, sitting him on top of the dryer in his little chair, all these little tricks, but this tape was amazing. So I did this story. I probably sold 1,000 tapes for that woman because people, called me, where can I get that? Where can I get that? And people come up to me, I mean, as recently as last week, someone said to me, my baby was born around the same time as yours and had colic. And I remember that series and I got that tape, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I just think that's so funny. I mean, I've done interviews with presidents and all sorts of cool people, but boy, there are a lot of really hopeless women out there with these babies who just won't stop screaming, and you're so sad and you think you're doing it all wrong. So anyway, I'm happy about that one contribution. There are others, but that one left an impression.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? And it's like,
Mm.
you know, so I do want to just touch upon this, but like, you're at WGME for 39 years, and you talk about that story right there, and obviously that is a standout memory for you, and I'm sure like, um, there are highlights probably of a similar nature throughout that span that you can kind of like pinpoint, but like I know, your like career didn't end as you wanted it to, I'm sure. But like, what do you miss maybe more about like the mundane, like day to day aspects of the
Oh,
job?
I miss so much, you have no idea. And partly, I think you're right, because I wasn't quite ready to go. It wasn't really on my terms. I had ideas still, churning in there. But if I could summarize it, I think what I miss the most is being on an airplane or standing in line at the grocery store, buying a book and chatting up somebody, and they have this incredible story. Um, and for so many years, it was actually 40 years that I was there, 39, anchoring, but I had done a year in radio and then I started at the TV station a little earlier. But so for 40 years, I had this format, this forum that I could tell these great stories and really feel like in my own way, I could make a difference in someone's life or help other people reach out and help somebody, or just talk about somebody's incredible achievements or accomplishments that nobody had heard of. I just chomping at the bit for that. And I know there are other formats now, there are podcasts and things, but I just can't count on my how I'm going to feel each day to commit to something regular like that. But I do really miss that, and I'm still mulling that around in my mind about how I might satisfy that itch. I also miss the incredible community of people that were my friends in the newsroom. And while, listen, it's not always good news, and especially now, but let's just talk about other
Yep.
years. There are terribly tragic things that happen, and, good people who I had done stories on who passed away, and things that were very, very difficult to do. And so that camaraderie, really there's another person who understands what you're going through if you've covered something a long time and it's very draining, or if there's a, breaking news event that just takes days and days and days of your life. And, it's kind of like your own little club, if I will, just because nobody else really knows what it's like. And I miss just talking about current events. I miss that so much, because that we were living and breathing. Now, I don't think it was healthy, and I don't think it would be very healthy for me now to be living and breathing the news 24/7. I got to be honest with you. And I know lots of people
Sure.
who stopped doing that for that very reason, that it's, not great for their health and their mental state. But I still am kind of a news junkie. I still have to know what's going on, and I still write in ideas, and I'm still doing some public service work for the station, and just keeping my feet wet a little bit so that I can satisfy that need to communicate. It's really a need to storytell and communicate. And I miss the amazing people I was able to meet over the years, people like you, many of whom became friends of mine, but certainly many of those people I just had this special connection with. And I just really miss that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so well articulated, and I can only imagine. The only thing I want to comment on, I think, is just how like recently for me, I want to say within like the last 5 years, I've like really truly grown an appreciation for like the local news source, and that you talk about like the exhaustion of it and like how easy it is to go down a rabbit hole and let the stories of the day
Mhm.
consume you, um, especially with like 24/7 news stations, or if there
Yeah.
are people who, are really into podcasts or whatever. Um, but I think you don't find that if you just stick to like your local news. I think like there's a better sense of uh, um, what do I want to say here? Objectivity, but also you get the sense of the community within the news station. So, like, for example, like when I wake up every day, I'm up at like probably around 7 and I'm tuning
Mhm.
in. And so the news I tune into is like Good Day Maine, right? And it's like
Mhm.
Stephanie Greenway and Jeff Peterson
Yeah.
and, Emily Santom and Asia Reed, right? Like that's the
Yes.
four that are on there right now. And I get such a kick out of Jeff Peterson. I do a Jeff Peterson impersonation.
Oh,
Um,
please, please, I
yeah,
must.
yeah, I'm gonna humor you. Okay, so the other day they're doing it was National Hot Dog Day. Okay, and
Yeah.
the poll of the morning was uh, is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes or no? And so he's like reading the results, and no is winning. He says something to the effect of like, and of course, a hot dog is not a sandwich. Whenever I see someone eating a hot dog, I never ask what's on your sandwich. I ask what's on your hot dog. It's like
That's so Jeff. Well
I know,
done.
yeah. But I get a kick out of him.
Well,
Um,
yes, I mean, that's him in a nutshell. I mean, the guy is the Energizer Bunny. He never runs out of energy, no matter what time of day. He's always, he's always in a good mood and, full of that adrenaline and just yeah, good guy, longtime friend of mine as well. We did anchor
sure.
together for a while, but he just fits the mornings so well. That's really, you need someone like that when you're waking up.
Yeah, no, it's a great way to start my day. It really is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good day, man. So I appreciate that.
And I
I
appreciate
don't.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You
Well, I
go.
just appreciate what you said about local news because I feel that way too. I mean, really, these are people who live in your community. They care about the state. They are, really doing the best I can. When I was, most active, there wasn't this real hatred of the media that some people feel, and I really feel bad. My colleagues tell me that people will yell at them out of a window, driving by, and I never really had that kind of disrespect shown. And so I do feel bad that we've gotten to this point where people feel like, many people feel like just branding the media in just some broad reach that that just isn't fair. There are really great journalists out there, and a lot of them here on the local level, working very hard to keep things, honest and informative and help you through your daily life,
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, well, it's like I said, I think it's easy to go down that rabbit hole, but I think for me, like just sticking to local news has been like super helpful.
I think
Um,
that's smart. You're going to get everything you need to know. If you want anything else, you can find it, but that's going to give you, the basics of what's happening, um, not only in your community, but there's going to be some national stuff too. So that's fine. It's so easy, like you said. I find myself, well, on days where there's something breaking or going on, I'll be one of those people who's sitting in front of the 24-hour channel. But I try not to do that much at all myself either, for the
well,
same.
it gives you more time to enjoy things that you're probably meant to enjoy, like musical theater. So, tell
My
me about
favorite topic.
yeah, yeah. So, all right. So, tell me, like, I know are you involved with like the Maine State Musical Theater? Are you
I'm on
very
their
involved?
advisory board.
Okay.
I used to be on their board, and now I'm on their advisory board. And yes, I will be forever connected with MSMT. I just love those people, and try to advocate and publicize and do whatever I can. It was really cool. They just had a performance of 1776, and they asked me to do, because the artistic director who normally does all of the intros to the audience before the show starts, he was actually in the show this time. He's a great actor too. And so they had his assistants come out to do the show, but people weren't as clear on who they were. So they asked me to tape to record something. This is Kim Block, and I love musical theater, and I'm so excited you're here, especially, in our 250th birthday year, to see this 1776, and please welcome to the stage, Dustin and Ellen. And it was so fun, and it played before every show. So I felt like, well, I'm leading off the performance. Then I went to see the show with my husband, and most people were just milling around and getting settled while that announcement was going. And so I'm like, I just looked around. I just wanted to go, shh, hey. But then I realized, at least by the end of it, they heard it, and kind of people sort of looked up and realized, oh, this is like I'm supposed to pay attention. But it was super fun to do. I really loved being a part of it. So I'll try to do things like that for them whenever they ask anything like that. And they do
So,
invite me to go to their, this year I've been invited to all of them, which is they have a final run through before they go onto the stage at Bowdoin College. They're in their rehearsal hall, and they invite some of us to come see it without costumes and without the set. And the chairs are right there. And oh, it's just so fun. So fun to see that. And then
do
to
you
go
have do you have a personal favorite production, whether it was at MSMT or like any kind of stage theater show that really kind of like really sticks out for you?
so hard because I love them all. I saw my friend Norm Lewis in Phantom of the Opera, and I will never forget it. He was the first African American to play the Phantom on Broadway, and he was phenomenal. And I've gotten to know quite a few people from the Broadway community because of this show I've emceed every year for Wyndham Chamber Singers, the American Family Holiday Concert. Unfortunately, last year was the final one after 25 or something years because Dr. Rick Nickerson is retiring, but they would always bring up somebody from from Broadway to interact with the kids and mentor them, but then to perform. And phenomenal, the people that I got to see Hamilton when Mandy Gonzalez was in it. She played Angelica. Um, just just incredible performances. I mean, I loved Newsies is just a great show. I loved Moulin Rouge. My friend Robin Herder, who is from Maine, was in that. And I mean, I go way, way back with Broadway. And this is because of my parents. My dad and mother both loved musical theater, but my dad had a beautiful voice and, always, he was a doctor, so he's kind of busy in his later years, but he performed a lot and he was a jazz trumpet player. And he wrote a musical when he was in his residency at Philadelphia General Hospital. I think it was where I was born, which doesn't exist anymore. But all the residents there wrote a musical about being a doctor, learning how to be a doctor. It's hilarious. And I have the record, the LP. It's the only recorded voice I have of my dad singing. And it's awesome. So my brother and I were just talking about this when I visited him. He said he just remembers my dad and I always singing in the car, always. And I'm like, I thought you were singing too. And he was like, no, not really. That was you and dad. And so, I just grew up. He's taught me all these, songs from the 40s and 50s. And we went to every show at the Kennedy Center in DC, the area where I grew up. And so I was just really lucky that they loved musical theater. And I just fell in love with it too. I know I'm not giving you a favorite. I just saw Smash that I loved with, again, my friend Robin was in that. Just can't think of a show I really haven't loved.
That's
Check-
okay. You've given
I
me
don't
an idea.
I'm
You've
pretty
given me,
easy.
you've given me an idea. Hear me out. I have an idea.
Okay.
I think we need a new musical. Okay.
Okay.
And, maybe you and I should try to get together and write this thing.
Let's
it could
do
be
it.
the MDA Labor Day Telethon Booze Cruise the musical. It kind of lends itself. My father would sing. He'd have a role.
Yes.
Obviously, you would be there, but it was like who would play you in that musical?
Oh my gosh, if I could get any of I did this show for years called The Best of Broadway, which was a benefit for the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital. And any of those cast members would be amazing. But if we're talking like on a national level, let's see, who would be my dream? Oh gosh.
I mean, Christian Chenoweth, maybe.
Oh, okay. All right, we're done. Sure.
Yeah,
She's
we're done.
tiny.
Yeah.
She's
Yep.
tiny. She's got a set of lungs that don't stop. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go with
I
her.
think we're good. Cool.
Oh, great. We have a new project. I love it.
Yep. I always love to have a project on the calendar. So
It is. Tanner, do you feel that way? Is that kind of what, keeps you going? Like because it seems like you're always planning something new or looking. And I've had some struggles with that, just not being able to do all the things I want to do. And I'm, it's not me alone. And I'm not saying pity me, but if I could, I'd be doing my own show or something like that. But I try to come up with things that bring me joy or something new that will tap into some creative side of me. Is that how you've always been?
I think I have always said I like to put something on the calendar to look forward to. And I think living in Maine year round, it's actually really easy to do that because what happens for me is come every January, we get that winter doldrums and, you're snowed in. That's when all the announcements happen for what's coming up for the summer. So I get into this habit of burning through money in my wallet, buying all these concert tickets or tickets to shows.
Ah,
And I just kind of line them up throughout the year. But I do that during the winter,
oh,
and
sweet.
that is kind of what keeps me going to a degree of just having something on the calendar to
To
look
look
forward
forward
to.
to. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. That's smart. Yeah, it's tough. I like the snow for about 2 months. And then, my hardest part of the year really is kind of April, even May, when we haven't seen any sign of life in nature. So that's when I try to go down to DC because they do get a beautiful spring. Um,
Yeah,
and
we
that's
got mud season.
exactly. And that really helps me because I do get sort of sunlight depraved and all of that. So yeah, just to see a little spring somewhere. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I like
I mean,
I like doing that, and then, even with this show, this has given me an excuse to connect with you and so many other people where it's like I want to try to make a conscious effort to just connect with people. And
right.
so that is another thing that kind of keeps me going. I would say it's all that stuff, and then just a combination of like my own genetic frenetic energy that I inherited from my father.
That makes sense. How is Merritt?
Very good, and I asked him about you. I was like, "Yeah, I'm talking to Kim," and he goes, "You should ask her if she remembers me singing like karaoke in the old port with her." And I was like, "Okay," and
Wait a minute. I don't know that I do. Why don't I remember that? That sounds fabulous.
yeah, I don't know, but he told me he was like, "Yeah, we were like in the old port for some reason." He couldn't really remember why, but he
Maybe
said
it was
that
the Old Port Festival or something. Um,
maybe.
or MDA might have done some stuff down there at the beginning. All
I
right,
don't know.
this will come
Oh,
back to me. It's not merit, it's this. But oh my
oh,
God, that's
yeah.
hilarious.
All he said that like karaoke bars were kind of a new thing. It was
Mhm.
like,
Yeah,
which I mean, now it's just like, every bar has karaoke once a
yes,
week, right?
yes,
But it was
yes,
kind of a new thing.
yes.
And he was like, yeah, and the song selection was like kind of limited, but I remember, I sang Bang a Gong and Kim loved it. And I was like, okay, Dad.
That's such a great memory.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I probably picked something from Oklahoma. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I have not done karaoke in a long time. We have a
yeah.
little machine downstairs, but I don't know if it even works anymore. Oh
Well,
my God,
well,
that's so
maybe
great.
we're overdue. Maybe we'll put that on the calendar too.
Let's do that too. We can get together at maybe we'll go to your house and I'll bring my machine or something and see if it still
Yeah.
works. You guys have one? A
No, we don't.
karaoke?
What we have is I'd have to dig it out, but I think it still works on PlayStation. There's a karaoke game.
Oh,
Um,
okay. That
yeah,
would work.
yeah, it works. And there's microphones and all that, so it's fun.
Oh my gosh, how fun. I've got a range of about 4 notes these days, but that's okay.
Yeah, well,
We'll
that's
make it
three more than me. Um,
work. We'll make that work.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah.
let me ask you this. So I started this thing, and all right. So here's another thing that I do is once a month we have a theater here in Booth Bay, a movie theater that's
Mhm.
smaller. It seats about 100 people. It's
Cool.
in a strip mall. It's cool. Um, but I rent it out once a month, and I put on a free community movie, so it's open to the public. Anyone can go, right? And I call it Cinema Clubhouse, and it's really not selfless. It's totally selfish on my part. I really just take movies I've never seen on the big screen before, and I put them in a movie theater. But I try to be conscious about what I'm showing for you know everyone because whatever, it's a way to get people off of their phones and experiencing something together. And one thing we do is I print off like little scorecards, so people like rank the movie, and then we have like
Mhm.
an open mic discussion after the movie. And actually, one time we had this really cool, just totally cosmic coincidence happen. Where have you ever seen the movie Best in Show? You know
Oh,
that movie?
that's a great movie. I haven't seen it in years, but love it.
So we showed it last November, and literally, Cam, a week before we show it, my friend who's a bartender downtown said, "You never are going to guess who just walked into the bar." And it was John Michael Higgins, who is, an actor in that movie.
Yeah.
And she gave him my information. I got in touch with him. And then he came to the movie and like led us in a Q&A after the film. It was wild.
Only you, Tanner Grover. That is so cool. That is so
It was
cool.
it was really fun. It was really fun. But
Oh, I bet.
my question, I guess, is that I just want to know, like, do you have a favorite movie? I guess, and I really love movies, so I was just curious.
1 second, Tanner. Could you turn that back on, please? Sorry. Um,
Hold on 1 second.
well, okay, no problem.
There we go. All right, we're good.
Well, Tanner, you know it's going to be a musical. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I love a good musical.
Well, I love Barbara Streisand, and Funny Girl is probably my all-time favorite movie. Just, I love her. It's her at her best. It's everything. So, I really do. I really do. Would have to say that's my favorite movie that I've watched 10 bazillion times. Oh gosh, I wish I'd thought about this more because that is such a good question. Bob, do you know what my favorite movie is? My husband just came in. True. I love anything with Fred Astaire. I love the old classic movies, old movies. I'm always watching Turner Classic Movies. But I have to think recently, what have I seen? I mean, I can't think some of the recent movies. Can you remind me? There's some movies that
Oh,
came out
jeez.
that were really good. Oppenheimer, that was really good.
Yep.
I love
Oppenheimer.
the Barbie movie was really good.
Yep.
But like favorites, anything with Barbara, The Way We Were. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Love it too. I mean, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I go back to like that era.
Sure. Well, yeah,
I'm
that's your
gonna
era.
kick myself when I get off of here thinking,
It's okay.
did you not say that? I'll text you, okay? And when you're interviewing the next person, you can say, just hang on a minute, Kim Block forgot something I have to add in.
That's all. Start the whole show. I mean, yeah, I know you're here, but we're gonna go with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna start back with my previous person. What's yours?
Mine is What's Eating Gilbert Grape is my favorite
I
film.
don't think I ever saw that one. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah,
Is it
I think
pure
yeah,
comedy or is it?
no, it's a
No?
drama.
It's a drama.
Yeah,
So
I mean it's got
about
it's
it.
got comedic elements to it, but it was actually based off a book. But it stars Johnny Depp, and a young Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
But it's yeah, I don't know. It's something that I think I saw when I was probably 9 or 10, and it just
Mhm.
really stuck with
Yeah.
me throughout the years.
Yeah.
I think it came out in like 1993 or something
Okay.
like
I
that.
mean, I've heard of it. I don't know why I haven't seen it, but I will
Yeah,
now. I will now.
yeah. You'll laugh, you'll cry. It's the whole,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
I would say similar in tone to Forrest Gump. Similar
Okay.
in tone.
Great
Yeah,
movie. Great movie. Oh, really? How have I missed
Yeah.
this? I must have been misled by the title or something. I don't know. That's not
Yeah,
fair to me. That's not usually the way I am, but somehow I missed that. So good.
it happens. I haven't seen a lot of Fred Astaire movies, so
No.
we're even.
Okay. I could watch him dance for hours. That's another thing. When I used to get this mono, and then during high school, I would also get this kind of pneumonia thing. And I don't know if did I ever tell you that we didn't have a TV when I was growing up? It's so ironic that I wound up working in television.
I've never known that. No.
Yeah. No, my mom just didn't really believe in it. I had one when I was in New York City. I was in first and second grade, and then we moved to the DC area, and she just got rid of it, and it was like all books all the time, which I don't regret. But when I got sick, I got to have a TV because I was just, didn't feel like doing even any reading. So she would rent me a TV or a DVD of Fred Astaire dancing, and that always made me, well, it wasn't DVD in those years, whatever it was, beta, I don't know. But yeah, those always cheered me up. I just love him dancing. I love dancing in general. There's some great dance movies out there too. And Molly, my daughter, danced at Maine State Ballet for many years, and so I got to understand a lot more about dance, ballet, and tap, and really started loving it. So
Yeah.
but I always loved Fred Astaire and Ginger.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm forgetting Breakfast at Tiffany, also one of my favorites. Anything
I
with Audrey Hepburn.
I do like Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That's a great movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And the remake of, is it, oh gosh, I'm going to forget. It's not Serena, maybe Serena. Anyway, I have to look that up. Audrey was amazing in that movie too. Harrison
What
Ford,
about
the remake. I'm blanking on it.
it's alright.
It's her name, Serena or something. Oh,
Serena? You mean Serena? Like is it the
Not-
singer?
not the singer. No.
Okay.
This is terrible. Any Audrey Hepburn fans out there are going to be not happy with me.
That's our primary demographic is
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to know anyway. So. I'm good, is what you're saying.
yeah.
I wanted to say one thing about my son Miles, because I always tell this story about this poor kid and his colic, and I think he's, then I leave people like, that's the only thing you should know about my son is he cried for 3 months straight. And he's like, Mom, really? This kid is so remarkable, Tanner. And he's gone on, he lives in Slovenia. He has his dual citizenship through Bob's side of the family. He's been there 7 or 8 years now. And he has his EU citizenship. He's right now in Serbia traveling with his girlfriend on a road trip. They've been to, and they're going to go to Kosovo, and they're going all over the place. And he was just in Norway, and he's been to Svalbard, and a lot of his company is remote and is based in the US. And so because everybody's spread out all over the country, they have these team meetings in these really cool places like Portugal or several in Mexico. So I'm just so proud of him, and, the just really independent, adventurous life he's able to lead, and he always loved geology, which is what he majored in. And it's really come in handy. He can tell you anything about any part of the world. So anyway, he's just great. And Molly works at the National Arboretum in Washington, and she just, loves driving tractors and doing all she's in charge of the magnolia collection and the holly collection. And just these two kids, it's so fascinating to see who they're growing into being. And I'm so proud of them, just like I'm so proud of you. You're one of my
Well,
kids too.
they've got a great mom and a great dad that I'm sure have inspired them to become the people who they are. So
I hope so. I hope they know we're always there for them, no matter what,
for
You have
sure.
the best family too. I love your sister, and you guys have such a great relationship. It's just so fun.
Allie and I are super close. So
Yeah.
she was actually calling me while we were on this call, and
Oh,
she probably, was asking me about, I don't know, expiration dates in the fridge or something. But
I love that. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
she was always so good with you too when you guys were little. I mean, she's just amazing. Always by your side, always your buddy, It was really great.
I'm trying to get her to do an episode, but she won't
Oh,
do it.
thank
And the
you.
one, yeah, the only so I think I've got her on the hook, but we're not going to talk about her. All we're going to do is we're going to review episodes of Bravo's Summer House. That's what we're going to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. I
yeah,
will tune in for that.
yeah. I don't watch it, but she does, and
So you have
apparently
to catch up.
there's a big scandal she wants to do a deep dive on.
Awesome. I've seen some episodes and it's really addictive. It really is. So that'll be fun. My daughter watches it too. It's funny. That'll be
It's a
great.
good it's a good escape for sure. So
Well,
we've been
good.
going for about an hour, and I want
Oh,
to,
wow.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, I don't want to keep you. I could talk all day,
Me
so I could go
too.
2 hours. Maybe we'll do a part two.
Okay. Yay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll circle it on the calendar as something to look forward
yes,
to.
exactly. But I do want to ask you one final question. So I
Sure.
ask this of everybody. So my grandmother passed away in 2008, and she was 78 years old, passed away from lung cancer.
Yeah.
And on her deathbed, she kind of had this, what I now consider like a profound statement to me.
Mm.
And she said, the only thing I regret in life is not allowing myself to have an ice cream sundae every time that I wanted one. And the
Oh,
thing is she really meant that. It's just like she really wished she allowed herself to eat the ice cream sundae. And I
yeah.
have since interpreted it in like a metaphorical sense. So my question to you, and you can answer this however you like, but what is your ice cream sundae? And you could answer it in the context of, what's on your bucket list or what fulfills you or what is that thing that you want in life?
Yeah, yeah. An ice cream sundae would also work, but but
For sure.
I don't stop myself from having them, Tanner, I have to admit. One of my
Good.
one of my little joys I allow myself, but I understand that. Um, I think it's just, I could go a little deep here and say that one of the things that I constantly work on is trying not to worry as much as I do. I always have this habit of looking forward about, oh, what might happen, which can keep me sometimes from taking those steps. But a lot of things uh, became more limited for me when I had my brain injury. And what I'm really working toward is travel, more travel, because that used to be such a huge part of my life. And my husband very much wants to spend these years of our life traveling. And it takes a lot out of me. And I also have a terrible fear of flying. And so, what I hope that I do before, I'm not able to is see more of the world and spend as much time as possible with my kids, because it's truly the one the one place I feel fully myself is when I'm with my family, and we're spread out quite a bit. And so I hope that I get as much time as possible with my kids and and my husband. But I think that would be it. I don't want to have on my gravestone, gee, I wish I'd taken that trip. You know?
Absolutely. I love it. I think it's great, and it's so appropriate, and, we gotta get that patent safari trip
That's
together.
right.
That's
The
gotta happen.
The safari's gotta happen. You're
Yeah.
right. I don't know, knock me out for 24 hours on the plane and maybe I'll make it.
Alright, then we can get that done.
Yeah.
Uh,
I will let you know. I feel closer to it. I do. The fact that I even talk about it now, that's a huge step. Before it was like never, never, never. Now I'm like, that might be actually really cool. So
yeah,
I had two friends who went, both from TV friends, Amy Sinclair and Marnie McLean, and they went together on a safari. And they said, Kim, every time we saw a herd of elephants, we thought of you, and you just have to do this. So I have extra support and incentive.
totally. Well, and if, even if it takes baby steps to get there, we got York's Flower Kingdom,
That's
so,
true.
yeah,
In the meantime.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Tanner, Bob and I hope to, at least Bob, but I there's the possibility we're going to sail up to Booth Bay Harbor this summer. I don't know for sure, but if we do, I'm going to let you know, okay?
absolutely,
All right.
absolutely. Well, I wanna thank, you, Kim, and I wanna thank everyone who's taken the time to enjoy this conversation with us today. I hope you found it, informative, enlightening, invigorating, inspiring. Maybe it was just background noise. However you wanna consume it, that's up to you, but, thank you so much for hanging out, and Kim, I just wanna thank you for being a friend.
That's what I was going to say to you, Tanner. If nothing else, I hope everybody sees that we have a deep, loving friendship, and I love you to pieces. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time. This is wonderful. I'd spend any amount of time talking to you.